It was good, Josh, man, the Bigga P, and I'm here to share my thoughts on the Deontay Wilder Bermane Stiverne card that just finished about maybe 20 minutes ago. Um, Overall, it was an entertaining card. The three fights all provided enough moments of entertainment for me, and I felt it was definitely a good way for Showtime to start off its year. The first fight was a Bermane versus Fidel. Was it Maldonado? If I pronounced that wrong, my mistake. And that fight was a barn burner for as long as it lasted. There were 5 knockdowns in the fight, um, four on Maldonado, and then one on Imam. But the round that I'm pretty sure everyone will be talking about, and this is probably a candidate for round of the year, was round 3, where Maldonado, groggy as anything, manages to put Imam down early with the left hand. And then the left hand, however, was one of the stories of the fight. It was either the straight left hand or the right hand, And it was an interesting contrast because Maldonado, for at least for the first couple of rounds, did a I don't know if maybe it was the southpaw thing, but he was landing the left hand regularly, and then when he was doing that, he would jump in and he would smother Imam's power. And I was thinking, I said, okay, this is this difficulty, but then as soon as Imam was actually landed a shot like he did, I think at the end of 2, I sent him like going down like he was in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I'm like, okay, I think this fight was over. But when Imam got knocked down in 3, I was like, okay, now we got to fight. And then Imam, manages to recover to knock him down 2 more times. Um, and then afterwards, the 4th round was pretty much, there wasn't a knockdown. I believe it was just more or less, it was still the story from the first round. It was still left hand versus right hand. Which one was going to land? In the 5th round, what happened was pretty much after some infighting on the ropes, again, Maldonado attempted fate one more time and got clipped, and again, fell to the canvas. And I thought he could have continued because he did get up. It wasn't like he wobbled to his feet or anything like that. I wanted to see what he had left, but they stopped the fight after that. But at least for me, because I'm high in Imam, and I'm a fan. I think he's gonna go somewhere. And just so, like I said, adversity, he was able to show he was able to come back from adversity and then come back. So my kudos to him. And Maldonado, the only thing, the only thing that maybe raised the eyebrow with him was how he was talking in the interview. I don't know if maybe it was just really gravelly or just the way, but he didn't sing. He sounded a little punch drunk, and I don't think he was punch drunk at all. But I just didn't. I wasn't expecting him to talk the way he was talking, like really low and growly. Um, if that's, I mean, it sounds weird. I mean, if that description sounds weird, I mean, it is to me. But like I said, I didn't think. I mean, he wasn't slurring the speech, but I just didn't think. I wasn't expecting that type of voice from him. So yeah. So the second fight after that was Leo Santa Cruz versus was it Jesus Ruiz? Santa Cruz, I like out of all the young fighters, I like Santa Cruz too. But the one thing that's about Santa Cruz that's been annoying me and annoying me greatly is his competition, lack thereof. Someone of his stature shouldn't be fighting who he fights. I mean, he's gotten career paydays for fighting sparring partners, and Santa Cruz is more than he's that. I do think he has a talent to face other elite fighters at his division at 122. So the Reese fight itself, I wasn't really anticipating it in any way because, and to me, I was like, he's getting another high payday to face someone who probably doesn't deserve the shot. This fight surprised me a little bit, as in this fight wasn't a war, but it definitely turned into it was a gut check. This is one of those fights where you expected to end in a couple rounds, and instead it took 8 rounds to do it. But Santa Cruz, I mean, first the body work in the first couple of rounds was outstanding. Just standing toe to toe was just clean, it was just clean infighting. Well, except for that, except for the headbutt, I think that caused a cut, um, Santa Cruz. But Santa Cruz just proves that he's still one of the premier volume punchers in the game. And just the amount of punishment that he was able to dish out to Ruiz was like incredible. And then where I disagree now, in the 8th round where he did hurt Ruiz and sent him to the ropes, I thought. I mean, there were times on the ropes where Ruiz probably where the ref should have stopped stepped in to stop the fight. But where he stopped it when Ruiz was fighting back, that's where I felt that was a bad stoppage. So, like I said, Santa Cruz got the win, and I'm happy for him. But I was thinking that maybe just the stoppage just period just a little bit tad premature because like I said, Ruiz was still protesting. It wasn't like he was out on his feet at that particular point. But for Santa Cruz in the post-fight interview, I just hope that he really says he's gonna follow up and try to fight Frampton or Quigg or Rigo. Try to find somebody, alive by that 122 because like I say, he's a talented guy. I don't want to see, although he's getting paid, I don't want to see his I don't want to see him get to the point where, when he does get a step up in competition, he gets soundly beaten. So, the main event was for the WBC heavyweight title, Bermane Stiverne versus Deontay Wilder. This fight had, there were various questions about leading into this fight. Stiverne, for the most part, had his, didn't have too many questions other than, yes, he could take a good punch, and yes, he could punch, and yes, he can go the distance. Not like more of Wilder, who at the time had never went past 4 rounds, has never been tested, although he's been knocked down once, he has never been tested by anyone that they consider a live body. So it's more, and then both fighters had talked about this was going to be an early night. Surprisingly, that was not the case. Not the case at all. It was an entertaining fight. But the one thing I was a little disappointed in was Stiverne himself because I don't think he came in the best condition possible. Although they said he weighs in between like 238 to 244, he wasn't a well conditioned guy this night. And literally, what happened was Stiverne pretty much, although was walking him down, pretty much Wilder was just able to control him with the jab. Was able just to keep the jab in his face. And then Wilder, would occasionally, would let off a couple of onslaughts, a couple of right hands. There was, I think it was in the 3rd or 4th round, where Wilder might have caused definitely the first legit knockdown in Stiverne's career. But Stiverne tackled him. So the referee had Tony Weeks that did it, had no choice but to rule it a slip. Where I thought a punch was the one that actually caught him. And then the fight, sometimes it would be it would be Wilder catching him with the right hand, catching him with a couple snapping his head back, and Stiverne, although would wobble and then not go down, he showed an incredible chin. But I was waiting for the point where Wilder was going to empty his tank, and that did not happen. And although he was tiring, his mouth was open in the latter half of the fight. But Stiverne was just either just not in the type of condition, or didn't have the right training, or just was either too beat up to even follow up on it. And then the later rounds, like Wilder showed, literally he knew he had the fight in the bag. So pretty much it was just pot shotting and tying him up and not taking any risky chances. So there was no doubt in my mind that once that bell rang, that we were gonna have a new world champion, and that's what we have. Deontay Wilder. The only thing I found wild about this discuss was the one judge who scored the fight 120-107. And there were no point deductions or any official knockdowns in the fight, so I'm just curious. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll probably look on BoxingScene.com later to see what round that judge actually gave a 10-8 round to. But I salute Deontay Wilder. For his most part, I didn't think he had the chin or the skills to actually do what he did. Hell, I didn't think the fight was even going to go the distance, but he did, and he answered some questions. I'm still not sold on him being a long term champ. I mean, obviously, he's a belt holder. I mean, he's the WBC. He holds the WBC version, but the man in the division is Vladimir Klitschko. And even just on this point, I don't. Although he has the power, to do it. I don't see anything yet that makes me think he can beat Vladimir Klitschko. But he is a Heyman fighter, so I know Heyman is going to have him sit on his title for a little bit, give him a couple of defenses. Like I'm pretty sure since Heyman's NBC deal has just gone through, that's probably where Wilder's going to defend his title first. It's going to be on network TV, and I can't remember the last time that any of the big four actually. Yeah, I can't even tell you when's the last time the heavyweight title was actually defended, like on ABC or CBS or NBC or anything like that. So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see where it goes. I mean, Wilder has there's Jennings and there's Tyson Fury, and maybe even Shannon Briggs, God forbid. There's people for him. If Heyman wants to keep, wants to build him up a little bit. But my hat's off to him for fighting the type of fight that I didn't think he was capable of. And, hopefully it leads the heavyweight division in one step in the better direction of trying to regain its prominence. Because, boxing goes as the heavyweights go. That's the old adage. So that's those are my thoughts about the fight. And, so I'm probably just going to upload this and then probably do some other go on forums, and then till next week when we have the Mike Alvarado Brandon Rios 3 card. I'm pretty sure that will probably be a bar burner. All right, so until next time, peace.